guys, I'm Kelly and this is my channel Kel's Stitches. This is a place where I talk about all things cross stitching. Today is Monday the 9th of February 2026 and this is Flosstube number 84. Welcome to all my existing subscribers and viewers, and welcome to any newbies that I might have picked up in the last couple of weeks. Very much appreciate you being here and seeing what I have to show you. So let's just get straight on into it, and no mucking around. I'll just show you what I've been working on. Alright, so the first one I'm going to show you is, if I can find it, no, not that one. No, not that one. This one here is this one. It is called Enjoy All the Little Things. It is out of the Emma Condon book, Cross Stitch for the Earth. This is a very bad printout of the of what it'll look like, but yeah, this is what it'll look like when it's completed. Now, this is a new start, so all you're going to see is a blank bit of fabric on here. And this is where I've got up to with it. So I did work on this for 2 days and I got 1,000 stitches into it and all of the back stitch. So I started in the middle. Now you can see I have got a hole in the fabric. That happened when I dyed, because I dyed this fabric. That happened when I dyed the fabric and put it in the washing machine. I don't know, because it didn't have a hole in it when I dyed it, or when I put it in to be dyed, but there is a little hole there, so I had to sort of, it's not exactly the middle of the fabric. I had to sort of guess where to start for the middle, just to, for those sections, this stitching here, to miss the hole. And it's a fairly substantial hole, as you can see. I'm just going to find a little charm, whether it's a little K or even a 2026, because I guarantee you this will be completed this year. Just a little charm, just to pop over that hole there, so you don't see it anymore. And this is just the smallest knockoff Nerge hoop that I got from Temu, and it fits perfectly because that is the edge of the pattern, that is the very bottom of the pattern, and the top of the pattern will reach just up here because it's just a circle. So yeah, that is it's going to fit into this Nerge, and I'm not going to have to move it at all. And now I dyed this fabric. It is just pretty sure it's just a 16 or an 8, a small 18 count, just a little 18 count scrap of a square fabric that I had left over from cutting out bigger pieces. And I always keep them to the side because they do come in handy for these smaller projects. Now, I loved working on this. It was so easy to stitch. And as you can see, I have already done all the back stitching that is required as I'm going. So, and I thought that I'd just do that because I don't have to move the Nerge frame. So I might as well just back stitch as I go. So currently I am up here in these mushrooms. But I love it. Absolutely love it. And it's only got like, I think it's like 5, I don't even know because it's not in Pattern Keeper. I am doing a paper pattern, which is quite easy to follow anyway. But I would estimate it's probably got 6,000 or 7,000 stitches, and I've already done 1,000 stitches. And I've got a fair bit, probably not even that. I would be guessing that I've got a good, probably quarter of the quarter of the pattern already done. So it's probably only got about 5,000 stitches. If I can get 1,000 stitches in it per stitching session, it'll be done in no time. And depending on when I do get that finished, if it's earlier in the year, I will just go on and maybe start the next one that I've got in there. Or maybe not. Maybe not, because I am going to have another pattern, which I will tell you at the end about. So once that's done, I may not replace it. Okay, the next one that I am going to show you is another new start. This one is also a smaller pattern. It is called, well, I'm calling it Read More Books. Well, that's what it is, Read More Books, from Happy Mood Point on Etsy. This, I think they are now called Daily Pattern Post. And I am a big reader, so I thought this was perfect. I'll just put it in a little frame and sit it on my bookshelf or something like that when it's done. Started in the middle, so I am working in this section in here. Again, this is on a little scrap bit of 18 count fabric, and this is where I'm up to with it. I only worked on this for one day and I got 600 stitches into it. So yeah, it is looking all right for 600 stitches. Again, this one only has about 5,500 stitches, so it should be a relatively easy finish this year. And again, as I said, once it's done, I will just put it in a little frame and put it on sit it up on the bookshelf or something. The next project I'm going to show you is another new start, and it is this one. It is, well, I'm calling it Wolf Silhouette. It's from 2x2 Stitch Art on Etsy, and this is what it'll look like when it's completed. So this is being stitched on an 18 count Aida that I dyed myself in a grey. It was meant, I was hoping, I sort of wanted it a little bit, I wanted it all this colour, but it came out a bit darker. I put a little bit too much dye into the dye bath. So let me just, yeah, so I put a little bit too much dye into the dye bath, and it came out a bit dark in spots, but that's alright, because as you can see, I have stitched the outline. I started in the middle, started in the 3808 and stitched over to here, and I thought, bugger it, I'm going to stitch the outline, see if it will fit into this nudge hoop so I don't have to move it, and it does. So now that I've got the outline done, I will just start stitching the rest of it in, obviously. But yeah, so that's what it looks like, and as I said, it's 18 count fabric, and this again only has 5,000 or 6,000 stitches into it, so hoping that I can get it finished sometime in some point at this year. Oh, and I worked on that for 2 days and I got 880 stitches into it. Alright, so the next one I'm going to show you is this one. It is Butterfly, Sampler Butterfly. It is also by Happy Mood Point off Etsy. This is, well, kind of what it'll look like when it is completed. As you can see, I have made my little notations on there in what colours I am thinking of doing what butterflies, which is why I laminate most of my cover sheets, or all of my cover sheets, so I can make notations. And I usually, when I'm kitting up, I usually write both the the fabric sizes that I'm thinking of using, and usually I'll tick which one I have used. But I think that this one is actually a 14 count, because I wasn't sure of what colour I was going to stitch on this, what colour I wanted to stitch on. So this one is actually, pretty sure it's a 14 count. Let me see if I've got the... Nope. Anyway, it is a Paddock Lane Designs fabric. And it looks big enough to be a 14 count. So, and this is where I am up to with it. I am using, I had a heap of thread pickers. I had a heap of thread pickers floss that I'd bought many years ago, and I thought, bugger it, I'm going to use them up. So I have kind of assigned the butterflies, like different colours to the butterflies, and then I sort of got to here, got this wing done, and I looked and I was like, I can't do this part of the butterfly in the same colour of the wing. So I found another colour in there that I hadn't thought of using yet, and decided that all the butterfly bodies and antennae were going to be in that colour. But it's looking really good. I worked on this for one day and I got 900 stitches into it. It is a very easy stitch. Stitches along very quickly. So I am not sure. I might move the nudge up, the Q-snap, and head down, and I might get all the outside butterflies done. Where is my cover photo? I think that's what I'll do. So I've started in this one here. So I think what I'll do is I'll move down and I will get all the outside ones done, and then I can move in and start doing these ones and just keep going like that into the middle. And because even though I have colours assigned, I may actually change my mind once I get to stitching them. So, and that's how I'm working on that one. And again, this one doesn't have very many stitches in it either. Probably another 5,000 or 6,000 stitches. So hopefully that one will also be a finish. And that is my plan with a lot of the small, because I have a lot of small kits, or a lot of small patterns kitted up, as well as a hell of a lot of full coverages kitted up. And I'm hoping that with the way that I'm working my rotation, with having so many projects, that I can start getting some of these smaller ones knocked out, because I mean, we all know that we'll end up buying more small ones anyway. So and I do have quite a few picked out of the 3 Emma Condon books, and quite a few picked out of the Max Pigeon book. So there's a lot to do. All right, my next one that I'm going to show you is this one. Mini Top Frog. Artwork is by Jodie Bergsma, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is just the normal version of Mini Top Frog. That is what it will look like when it's completed. I'll put a picture up of where it was, and this is now where I'm currently at. So, can't remember. I think I'd finished off this page. I'm not sure. How many stitches? Oh, yeah, definitely. But it was not as many stitches. So, I think I just moved it down into this page last time we'd seen it and had a couple of hundred stitches into it. But this time around, I worked on it for one day and I got 400 stitches into it. So we are slowly getting there, but it is looking really good. Very happy with it. Once it gets over a certain percentage and under a certain amount of stitches are left, it will become a contender for focus on the finish. Alright, next one I'm going to show you is my focus on a finish for this year, which is Protector. Artwork is by Katie Lipscomb, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth. Rewind. It is charted by Pain Free Crafts. So this is what it will look like when it's completed. And here we are with it now. So last time we seen it, I had just this bit here done. So I've got all of this sort of in here done. And it is stuffed up here somewhere, miscounted, but I managed to fudge it and it doesn't look too bad. So I am basically finished this partial. Yes, I am. I've finished this partial page. I'm not going to count it as a page finish because it's not a full page. So yeah, I worked on this for 2 days and I got 7,000. I wish I got 7,000 stitches into it over 2 days. I got 700 stitches into it. Geez, your needle would be on fire if you got 7,000 stitches done in 2 days. And you probably wouldn't have slept for the 48 hours either. So yeah, and this is being stitched on a 16 count Aida in an apple green, which is not showing true to colour because the light is really, oh, that's sort of kind of the colour there. So yeah, slowly getting there, and if I keep on track, because I've worked out how many stitches I need a week to do, which shouldn't be that hard, it will definitely be a finish. Definitely. The next one that I worked on is Daydream Sea Turtles. Artwork is by Sheena Pike and it is charted by Charting Creations. I am up here in the head of this turtle up here. Now, pull this out without losing everything out of my project bag, which I did. I pulled the front off my needle winder. Give me a second. Found it. And that's my needle winder. Is a turtle which came in, I think it was one of my one of the Silks for You Advent 12 Days of Christmas boxes. Right, now that I've got that sorted, I'll just move him out of the road. This is where I'm up to. You can see a bit more definition coming into the face and the eye there. Set that behind there. It might make it easy. It might make it better. Hanging off it. Yeah, so you can definitely see that turtle's head coming in there. I worked on this for one day and I got 520 stitches on it, which is better than no stitches at all. So, yeah, so many different changes, like, and there's colors in there that you wouldn't think, like you've got teals and grays and light blues and everything in there just to get that definition and color around that head. And that is just being stitched on 16 count. Throw that back in there. The last one that I am going to show you is this one here. Spirit Guides. Artwork is by Laurie Prindle and it is charted by Pain Free Crafts. So I think the last time we've seen it I was down here, and now I've moved over to here to start stitching in these mountain parts here. And here we are. So I did finish off this page here. I only had like 40-60 stitches or something in there to finish off that page, and I worked on this for one day and I got 400 stitches into it. These two pages are very easy because there's just a lot of the same colors in there, which makes it very handy to get some easy stitches in. I didn't start stitching on this until 8:30 last night, and I got them 400 stitches in like 2 hours. I think I stopped at 10:30, so very easy stitching when you don't have to deal with a shit ton of confetti. Alright, so they are all the projects that I stitched on for the past fortnight, and in that I got total for the fortnight was 5,400 stitches. There was quite a few days there that I did not stitch at all. Just one because I didn't feel like it, and two other circumstances sort of prevented me from stitching. So yeah, that's all of the stitches that I got in for that fortnight. Do I choose my next? No, we'll do my boards. Let's just do the boards. So we have the protector board, and I'm going to spin this way, just because. Alrighty-o. So we go from 16,068 to 15,368. And then we go from 83.31% to 84.03%. Now I calculated out how many, like we've got what, 40, we're week 7. So we've got like 45 weeks of the year left. And so I calculated, I divided that by 45, and it told me I needed like 341 point something stitches a week to reach this total. So I just rounded it up to say we need Why are you not writing properly? We need 350 stitches a week to get it completed. That's what I've rounded it up to. So every fortnight I am going to recalculate and see if that number drops down, which I'm pretty sure it will. I'm hoping that it will. All right, throw that one over there. What we'll do is we will do... All right. So this is my monthly stitch count board. So I'm going to put in the monthly total here, and then of course I will tally it all up, and this will be the yearly side over here. So for the month of January, I did stitch 18,200 stitches for January, which gives me obviously a total to the year of, what colour are we going to? We'll go purple for the total, which obviously is just 18,200 for the total. Now you'll only see this board once a month on the first video of each month, just so we can add those together. Now, Lara was asking about these acrylic pens, paint markers, that have I tested if they can come off the boards? No, I haven't. So I will cross that obstacle when I get to cleaning my boards at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I know I can scratch them off with my fingernail, so I'm pretty sure that they will be easy enough just to wash off or scratch off or something like that. Alright, this is the small one. This chair is really squeaky, and I feel like it is going to break on me, which could be kind of funny and hilarious. All right, little things. We have 1,000. Read more books is, what did I say that was? 600. Wolf silhouette is 880, and a butterfly sampler is 900. So there are the first totals for all of those. Not too bad. These two are the lowest totals, but that's all right. We'll get there. Hopefully this Wolf Duo one will also be a finish for this year. But we will see how many I can get done, hey? Alright, now on to the next board, which is my full coverage. And we've got Top Frog, which is 400. Protector's not on there. We have Sea Turtles, which is 520. And Spirit Guides, which is 400. Now, and a page finish, which I'll mark over here. Thought I had more page finishes, but I was probably thinking about one of the other ones that I was close to a page finish last time, and I didn't quite get them. So No, I do not have more page finishes. So that is the totals. Obviously some of these would have been higher totals. Well, just these three would have been higher totals if I had have stitched on them for the 2 days instead of the measly one. But we'll catch up with them, I'm sure. All right. Ugh. That is that part taken care of. Partner said for me not to be bouncing around on this chair too much or it'll collapse underneath me, which it could possibly do because it is the daughter's old chair for her school desk and that for when she was at school. I mean, she hasn't been at school for 10 years. So it is a very old chair and it could lose all capabilities of holding my body weight at any stage. As I said, it could be very funny if it happens. Alright, so the next thing that we are going to do is I got blue spots on my fingers. Just waiting for this phone to not charge up, I charged it this morning, to turn on, and we are going to choose my next lot of projects to work on for the fortnight. It's an old phone, it takes a while to turn on. It really does take a while to turn on. Probably should have thought about that before I actually started my video. But anyway, that's all good. I do have a few things to show you for haul and stuff like that, which I will do in a second. Actually, why don't I just do it now while I'm friggin' waiting for this phone. So, 2 meters. 2 meters of 25 count fabric arrived the other week. So any full coverages will now be kitted up with 25 count. I think I will still kit up like my smaller projects with 16 or 18 count, just because I don't want them too small. And long dogs and stuff like that, I might buy some 20 count and start moving and start using 20 count for my long dogs and stuff like that. And the other thing for haul was I signed up to the Silks for You monthly Hank Club again. And this month it was a choose your own colour, and I chose PR220, which is this sorry crinkly plastic bag. I know some love it and some absolutely hate it, but it is this fuchsia, very bright pink. Now, I'm not a pink type of person. If you've been with me for a while, you will all realise that. But I do have a plan on, because I've got a tealy type of floss and a silk, and I am planning on doing a couple of long dogs, or maybe even some other type of sampler that I find on Etsy, a couple of matching ones. Plan on doing them on opposite colours, kind of like Crafty Emily is doing with her quad of long dogs. She's doing them on sort of dark purple, like belladonna colours, and then teals, and then bright pinks and teals, I think it is. So they're sort of a matching, and I thought I'd do the same thing, and I would do fuchsia on a teal fabric or a turquoise fabric, and turquoise on a fuchsia fabric. So that is in the plans. And that is all of the haul that I have to show you. Alright, I gotta reset the wheel because I've done all the... And let's see what we are going to be stitching on. Year in the Woods. I will just write these down as we are going. Second one is Wolf Silhouette. And then we have Horse Portraits. And Stamped. I hope it doesn't just choose all small projects for me. Come on, bring on a full coverage. Give me a full coverage. Mini Top Frog. One, two, three, four, five. Two more. Come on, another full coverage. Another full coverage. Mini Shaman. And last one. Waterhole Master. Alright, so let me just, 7 isn't it? Yes, that is 7. Radio, let me just go and get these projects and I will be back to show you which ones we'll be working on. Oh, I'm going to take that one out because that one's staying there anyway. I will be back. Maybe pause the video. Alright, I is back. And I have the projects. Obviously, we've got Protector, which is every week thing anyway. Then we have my Stamped. Do you want me to show you where we're up to with it? Yeah, why not? Alright, so this is where I'm up to. This is actually the starting point of what I will be stitching on. Then we have Horse Portrait, which is this one. And my starting point is here. Might as well show you the starting point when I've got the whole thing here with me. And then I have the Woods, A Year in the Woods, which is the first one. And I'm still working on Mr. Ferret, Freddy Ferret, I think we nicknamed him. And this is where I am starting from. Now, I'm in a bit of a dilemma because I don't know if I should class each individual one as a finish or if I should just class each individual one as a page finish. Oh no, hang on, I was only doing page finishes for my full coverages, wasn't I? So don't worry about that. I think I will just keep going with, because they are individual patterns, aren't they? So should I just class them as a finish, as I finish each one? Yeah, why not? I'll probably change my mind between now and when it comes to them being finished anyway, but you know. Wolf silhouette, which we just seen. That is my starting point. So I'm thinking that what I will do is, because I was kind of worried about the dark grey and this dark grey, like all the black in here and stuff, but because you've got the outline, I don't think it'll really matter too much. You'll still be able to see all of this in here. So I am thinking that I will work in this section, maybe work off from here and try to get some of his head in. And then we have Mini Shaman, and this is the starting point. And I just lost the front of that needle minder to give me a second to find it. Some of these, there it is. I was going to say some of these needle minders don't have very strong magnets on it, and I can only blame myself for this one because it is one that I made myself with a cabochon with a horse on it. So no one to blame but myself for that error right there. That was back when I was first making my own needle minders, and I didn't realise that you needed the super strong magnets. I do now. Whoops. And then we have Mini Top Frog, which I just showed you not more than probably 10 or 20 minutes ago. Starting point is there. And last one is Waterhole Master. And my starting point, this is the one that I was thinking of a page finish, but it's not quite. So I will definitely finish off this page when I'm stitching on it, and I will move over. But that's where I'm starting at. Stitching with Mel from Stitching with Mel is doing the same one. I think hers is on either 20 or 22 count. It is the same version of mine, so just the regular standard version. She started and she's moving across the top. She's got all of the elephant and stuff done, but she's moving across the top now. Looks amazing. So I am super pleased to see it happening on, yes, okay, it's a different count fabric. Mine's 16 count, I'm pretty sure, but it won't make that much of a difference other than the sheer size of it. But I am super pleased to see the definition and how nicely hers is stitching up, just being the standard version. So very happy with that. I seen last night a lady posted in Full Coverage Fanatics on Facebook. She has finished, what's it called? It's a Ciro Marchetti, or Ciro, I think that's how you pronounce it, Ciro Marchetti pattern. It's not Guardians, it's not, I forget what, and it is gorgeous. Hers is on 20 count and it looks amazing. I have watched her over the last 4 years stitching this project, and it is stunning. So I am going to have to go and purchase the pattern. And now that I've got 25 count, it won't be something like this. Although, I mean, I do love this one. I absolutely love it. It is one of my absolute favorites that I have stitched on. Absolutely. And yeah, definitely a work of love, this one. And I think on all of my other bigger ones that I do finish, I will make them into wall hangings. So yeah, a little bit of a tangent. Those are the projects that I will be working on for the fortnight. Now I know there will be at least one day that I won't be stitching, and that is February 14th, Valentine's Day, because we have a wedding at work. How cliche is it to be married on Valentine's Day? I mean, don't get me wrong. We've never celebrated Valentine's Day, because same as Mother's and Father's Day, we don't celebrate them either, because you should really show the appreciation for your loved one in your life any other day, any day of the week, not just the one day of the year that you were actually told that you have to buy a rose or take them out to dinner or something like that. Do it some other day. Just surprise your partner and go, okay, darling, let's go to dinner. But that's my opinion. I mean, a lot of people love Valentine's Day, and they're not wrong. They can do their own thing. But that is not us. But yes, we do have a wedding on Valentine's Day, so I definitely won't be stitching that one. I have got a double shift. So I'll be working the day and then run into working the night as well. And I will just see how the other days pan out, whether I feel like stitching or not. But things are settled down, so I might be able to get some stitching in. And work has got a little bit busier. So, but we'll get into that in a second. Alright, before I decide to start spewing about my work life, I did hint earlier that I will be starting a new project. Yeah, you know, it's been in the works for quite a while. It was being organised last year, and we were just waiting for things to pan out and be organised. And Jen's already spoke about it on her channel. I'm not sure if Stuart has spoken about it on his latest video, because I have not got to watch that yet. It was only posted... Sorry, it was only posted this morning my time, so I will turn that on later this afternoon when I am stitching and watch it. But there's a group of us. Let me see, Stuart, Nana, me, Suki, Darren, Alara, and Jen. There is 7 of us that are doing this sale. Now, this is what we are stitching on. It is called Morning Glory. It is an old custom crafts pattern that was available on Artisy. It is no longer available. They have discontinued all their custom craft patterns. But this is what it is. Absolutely gorgeous. We all had a say in the pattern that we chose, and in the pattern that we wanted to stitch on, and we all agreed that that one was lovely, and we would all like to stitch on that. So the difference here is that the 7 of us are all stitching on different fabric counts. You start at 14 count. Stuart is doing 14 count, Nana's doing 16, I'm on 18 count. You've got Suki on 22 count. You have Darren on 25, Alara on... No, Darren on 25, Jen on 28 count, and I think Alara's doing 32. So if you watch all of us, I know we've all got Flosstube channels, except for I'm not sure about Nana. I'm not sure if she's got a Flosstube. I will have to actually ask the group about that. And if she does, I'm just going to have to go along and subscribe to her. But most of us have Flosstube channels, so, and Suki hasn't posted for a while because of all of this shit happening in her life, but that's okay. She will get there. Fingers crossed, praying that everything works out for her. So you can catch up on all of our progress. We haven't set a date to start yet because Darren and I haven't received our kits. Alara was lovely enough to, because she was the one that instigated it and organized it, and she made up all of the kits for us, including fabric, floss, and all that sort of stuff. So she posted them all out the other week. Everyone's received theirs except for us down here in Australia. So as soon as Darren and I receive our kits, we will, I guess, set a date to start this, and that will be another one into the rotation. I don't know, I will check with the others how often they're going to stitch on theirs. But I'm thinking that I want to stitch on it at least one day every rotation. So, yeah, that's going to be another permanent all through. But yeah, so excited to start that. The colours, even on the cover photo, look absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, so that is just a little thing that we decided we would do. And so you can see, as I said, you can see them in the whole range of fabric counts and the differences in probably definition and detail in fabric counts. I mean, really there shouldn't be that much, it's just the size. Maybe the 14 count will look a little bit more pixelated than the 25 count. Who knows, but we won't know that until we start stitching. So hopefully once we start stitching and get some good progress into it, I will try to get photos from everyone and make like a little collage and put like the count fabrics and that, and just show them side by side so you can see the progress. But be sure to head over, and if you're not already subscribed, which you probably are, because those that watch me generally follow and watch Darren, Alara, Jen, Stuart, Suki. They generally watch those ones as well. But if you're not, head on over so then you can keep up to date on the progress of that cell. So yeah, there is that. And I think that's about all the stitchy stuff that I have to talk about. So if that's all you were here for, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed seeing what I had to show you, and you will come back and watch me next time. Audio, a little bit of life update. So yeah, it is very, very dry here at the moment. Very dry and very hot. It's overcast today. A little bit of sun peeks out every now and then. Overcast today, but it's still 33 degrees Celsius. Next 3 days are meant to be the same. Thursday is meant to be 37 degrees again. And then on Friday we drop right down to 23 degrees Celsius. That is a fair decent drop in temperature. And we had the SES, which is our, they're called State Emergency Services here in Australia, and they are the mob that you are generally contacted when there's any type of emergency. So floods and fires and stuff like that, they generally come out and help people, and, you know, like help you, if it's flooding, you know, help you sandbag your houses and all that sort of stuff, and go and do floodwater rescues and all that. So And the head of our local branch was in at work the other day because we do all the catering for them when there is emergencies on. Because the other thing is, because they're a government body, when there's an emergency in one area, they will call teams from all over the state to come in and help, and they sort of swap out. They're usually here for about a week and then they'll leave, and then you'll have different teams come in to help out depending on how long the emergency lasts for. And so when that happens, we're the ones that do all the catering for them. And they will drop in the morning and get breakfast or lunch and stuff like that. And the headquarters, the local headquarters will ring up and just say, we need 50 meals for dinner. And they've got to be freezable meals because they'll put them in the freezer. And then when the teams come back in from their shifts, they can just grab them out of the freezer, whack them in the microwave, and they got a nice home-cooked meal. So that, we do a lot of that catering, and the head one, Sharon, she comes in, she drops in quite regularly, and we cater all their training days and all that sort of stuff. So she drops in quite regularly, and she was in on Saturday, I think it was, and we were having a chat to her, and she said, oh yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up. We have been told to prepare for a flood event within the next 2 to 4 weeks. So we've just gone, really? It's so freaking dry and there's no sign of rain on the horizon. Really, is jumping the gun. But she said, no, this is what we've been told to do, so they are preparing for a flood event. Now, looking at the weather modelling coming up, rain starts on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And because it has been so dry, none of that water will soak in, especially if it is heavy rain and in a quick period or a short period of time. All that water will just run off, which will make the river rise very quickly, and of course there's your flood event. But I can see your shadow on the door. The partner just snuck up. I could see his shadow on the open door. So, but yeah, and there's your flood event. So unless it gets to major flood level on the Clarence, we will be fine. If it hits major flood level, we will lose majority of our paddocks, and then it's the whole cleanup of fixing fences and getting rid of all the detritus and junk that the floodwaters are brought in. Not to mention, you don't know what's in those floodwaters. There's chemicals, there's dead animals, there's God knows what. So all that goes onto your land as well. So we will see what happens in the next 2 to 4 weeks, won't we? And it is flood season here for us in this area, so it can't be surprising that they are preparing for flooding. And work has sort of picked up a little bit. The kids have gone back to school after their summer holidays. Most of them have grumbled and whinged about it, but back to school they go. So they've all gone back to school, and we find usually when that happens, then you start getting people coming back in to, and I mean most people have probably gone back to work as well, because here in Australia a lot of people will take their annual holidays on their kids' school holidays as well. So yeah, so most people are back at work, all the kids are back at school. You get people coming in for lunch and stuff like that during the lunch break and catching up with people and all that sort of jazz. So it has picked up a little bit at work, which is pretty good. I'm still feeling a little disillusioned about work, but that's just how things go. Alrighty guys, I think I will leave it as that. Oh, I didn't actually show you my shirt. My shirt says, oh, can we actually see it? Let me zoom out just a little bit. It says cross stitch, cheaper than therapy. I don't know why it's got a heart there. Kind of a little strange why they've put a heart on there. But, yeah. I mean, this isn't even cross stitch, but that's all right. I just wanted the slogan. Cross stitch is cheaper than therapy. I guess that is correct. And I guess it is our type of therapy, isn't it? Rightio guys, where is my diary? So yeah, that is everything. I will I'll leave it as that. My next video will be on the 23rd. No, that's March I'm looking at. Still the same. It'll be on the 23rd of February, all going to a plan. I didn't manage to get a stitch with me done this week or this fortnight. Hopefully I might be able to get one done in the next fortnight. I did think about posting the coffee dyeing video, and then I sort of forgot about it, so I'll definitely have to try to get around and get that posted as well. So that's everything. Alright guys, I will leave it as that. Or wherever you are in the world, please take care and stay safe. Until then, bye bye for now.